Hello everybody, my name is Cassie and today I'm going to be guiding you through a 30-minute yoga practice focusing on total body mobility. It's going to be in a flow style and I will be cueing some yoga breath. So if the yoga breath is new to you, just do what you can. Today we're going to start our practice in child's pose. So whenever you're ready, just take and flip yourself over. But we're going to bring our big toes together, knees wide, and you'll sit back on your heels and just reach your hands forward. And right away today, we're going to get into the sides of your back. So you can take your hands and walk them over to the right, way off from your mat, stacking your left hand on top of your right and leaning into your left side. And as we hold this stretch, we're just taking some deep breaths into the left side of your body, your rib cage, under your arm, and even into your hip. And then walking our hands back to the center, let's go ahead and take them to the left, stacking right hand on top of left. And we're going to lean into the right side and really focusing on some deep exhales. And then coming back to the center, we're going to rise onto your hands and knees, and then we're going to find our way into a kneeling position. Now, these two poses are meant to get into your feet, so it can be really intense, so just work with what you have. We'll start by tucking your toes underneath and just press a little bit of weight into the bottoms of your feet. Now, you can stay here, just kind of shifting back, or if you have the ability to, we can come into a full kneeling position. And just thinking about being nice and tall through our core and just keeping that breath nice and natural. And then finding our way out of that kneeling position, let's try the opposite direction. So tops of the feet are going to find the mat, and then now find your way down here. And again, if either of these are a little intense, you can modify it and just stay a little taller. And then easing out of this position and finding our way onto all fours, hands and knees. Tucking your toes underneath, we'll come into our first downward facing dog. Hands are roughly shoulder width apart and feet can be hip width apart or narrower. And just focus here on letting your head hang down between your shoulders and just finding some ease through the back of your legs. So letting the heels drop towards the mat. And again, full deep breaths in and out. Let's take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, bend your knees deeply so they hover just a couple inches above your mat. You can peek your head forward in this position, and we'll pause here just to engage a little bit of core. You might feel this in your quadriceps. Those are the muscles above your kneecaps. And then on your next exhale, find your way into downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times, just a little bit more quickly. We're gonna go ahead and set the knees down towards the mat. They're just gonna hover there, pulling your belly towards your spine, peeking your head slightly forward. Deep breath in, then on your exhale, press into downward dog. Let's try that 1 more time. Inhale, and then exhale, knees hover above the mat. On your next exhale, press it back into downward facing dog. Once you've settled into downward facing dog, soften your knees just a little bit and step your feet to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Can grab a yoga block if you have one, if those hamstrings are feeling tight, or just bend your knees a little bit more. And as we hold this forward fold, just finding some ease with the breath. Just checking in with the tension around our neck and shoulders, trying to let that go. On your next inhale, we're gonna roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time, starting with a really big extension. So you can reach your arms overhead and then lay it back so you can gaze up towards the ceiling. Pause there, soften your shoulders and breathe. Take a deep breath in and a full exhale out. Let's try that 2 more times. We're gonna inhale, roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Reach the arms up, reach back, and exhale, fold forward 1 more time. Inhale, roll all the way up. And exhale, fold forward. And we're just meeting in that forward fold, letting the head hang again. And just lifting up through the backs of the legs a little bit further if possible. Let's take a deep breath in, bending our knees, peeking our head forward. And you're gonna start by stepping your left foot to the back of your mat, low lunge position. Finding a little bit of ease, a little bit of stretch into those hip flexors. We're sinking down and we're pressing through our left heel. Thinking about keeping the back of our neck long. You might start to feel this in your left hip. And then taking a breath in, you can step to the top of the mat. Let's try the other side. Inhale, softens the knees. Exhale, step your right leg back. And again, just reaching through the right heel. Letting that right hip sink down just a little bit. Just taking a couple breaths here. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, step to the top of the mat. Let's try that 1 more time each side. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step your left foot back. This time, we're gonna add a little bit of twist, keeping our left hand down on the mat or the block. Inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. Your gaze can be to the side wall or towards your right hand. Just checking in with that right shoulder. Notice if it wants to scrunch up to your ear or not. We want it to slide down into our ribs. Take a deep breath in and then release your hand down towards the floor. You can step to the top of the mat when you're ready, and let's do the other side. Inhale, softening the knees, peeking the head forward. Exhale, step the right leg back. Again, just settling into that low lunge to start, reaching through your right heel. Right hand stays down. Let's inhale, left arm up. And setting the left hand down to the mat, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, roll all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Now we're gonna pause on our forward fold, taking our feet the width of the mat. And I like to turn my toes out here. So just kind of trying to find a nice and natural position for your legs. Block can also be nice for those tight hamstrings. We're gonna start by resting our hands onto the block or the mat, letting our head hang down in this wide forward fold. Your left hand can stay down. Let's inhale, rotate the right arm up. Another twist. And this one you could feel in many different places. Inner thighs, hips, sides of your back. Just kind of notice what you feel as you hold. We're just letting our weight naturally shift into that right side. We'll set the right hand down. Let's try the left side. We're gonna do one more each way. So set left hand down, inhale, right arm up, and just breathing naturally as we hold here. And setting right hand down and rotating left arm up. Let's set the left hand down. We can walk our feet back together. Bend your knees enough so that you can peek your head forward. Your back is gonna flatten out. And then stepping your way back to a high plank push-up position. Now we do wanna get a little bit of core work today. So we'll start out just holding this push-up position. If you need to modify for your wrists or for your back, you can set your knees down to the mat, or you can come on down to your forearms. But just holding and breathing, think about pressing away from the mat and drawing your belly towards your spine. 4 more breaths. On your next exhale, on your knees or toes, lower all the way down to your belly. We'll let the tops of our feet come to the mat, pressing up to our forearms, finding our way into some gentle extension here. Just checking in with those shoulders again, making sure they are soft, away from the ears. If you're ready for more stretch, you can press your hands into the mat and find your way into a deeper extension. And release. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Let's inhale, right leg high. We'll bend our right knee and press your right leg as far to the left as it'll go. Notice how your weight wants to shift into your left hand. See if you can press your right hand into the mat to offset that. Deep breaths into the right side, into the right hip. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. We're in that low lunge position to start. Widen your stance as much as you need to come up into crescent lunge. If your balance feels a little off, take your feet a little bit wider. Notice how your back knee wants to bend. See if you can straighten it, pressing your left heel towards the floor. On your next breath, take your hands down towards the mat. Grab your block. If that feels a little far away, we're gonna step our left foot 1 foot closer to the right. And now straighten through your right leg. Finding our way into a little bit of a pyramid here. This is gonna be a deep stretch for the right hamstring. So if it's feeling a little tight for you, you can walk your left foot a little closer to the right. And sometimes that eases it just a little bit. Or even keep your right knee soft. Take a deep breath in, stepping your left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, fold forward. We'll inhale to bend the knees, peeking the head forward, and then step back to that high plank push-up position. Once again, we're gonna pause in our plank position. See if this time you can press a little bit of weight into your heels. Remember those modifications of knees down to the mat or forearms on the mat. We'll take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, lower down to your belly. Inhale to rise up to your extension on your forearms or on your straight arms. Maybe even here, peeking your head up a bit. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, release down. Breathe in, exhale, downward dog. Let's inhale the left leg high. And then opening the hip here. Just breathing into that left side. Just noticing the differences between right and left. It's very common to be a little lopsided. Take a breath in and then exhale. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. We'll start in crescent lunge. Nice wide stance here. And then when you're ready, rise your hands up to that tall lunge, pressing your right heel down towards the ground. And this position can be a deep stretch for the hip flexors. So if you need to bend that knee to make it comfortable, go ahead and do that. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, hands come down towards the mat. And let's find our way into triangle. You'll step your right foot forward. Start with about a foot forward, and just see how that feels. If it's a little too intense on your left hamstring, you can adjust your foot forward or back until it feels right. And remember, you can always grab that block. And just relaxing your upper body over your left leg. All right, let's take that breath in, finding our way to the top of our mat. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, high plank position. Again, finding that high plank, making those adjustments that we need to. Holding here for just a couple more breaths. And on your next exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Pressing up to your forearms or your straight arms. Maybe lifting your head up. Breathe here. Taking our breath in, we'll exhale, bringing the belly down towards the mat. Take an inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to settle in, drawing your shoulder blades away from your ears and softening your heels down towards the mat. Let's inhale, right leg high. And then maybe opening up that hip if it feels good to you. Take a breath in and step your right foot to the top of the mat. It looks like we're coming into a lunge, but we're gonna find our way into warrior two. So spinning our back foot so it's parallel-ish to the back of the mat and windmilling our arms up, sinking down, finding warrior two. If you don't have a mirror, sometimes it's hard to know if your arms are level. So just kind of feel it out. You can even gaze from front to back. Let those shoulders just soften into your back pockets. Now from warrior two, we're gonna find a nice side bend, my favorite yoga pose of all time, triangle. So we'll straighten the front leg. Inhale, press the right arm forward. You're gonna get to this natural stopping point. And then hands come down to the shin, ankle, block, or floor. We're trying to stack our shoulders on top of one another. And we're trying to gently rotate our left hip up towards the ceiling. And just finding a nice natural breathing pattern here. Take a breath in and release your left hand down. Now we'll go into revolved triangle. I really like a block for this one. So I'm going to place my left hand on the block and then inhale, right arm up. And if this one is intense for you, it is for a lot of people. So again, just work with that twist that you have. Take a breath in and take the right hand down towards the mat. Now we're just going to spin our back foot and step back to downward dog. Finding our way into the other side. So lift your left leg up. Opening up the left hip, breathing into that left side. On your next breath, step your left foot to the top of the mat and find your way to warrior two here. Windmilling the arms up and sinking down. If you can, lift up through the arches of your feet. All right, let's find our way into that really great side bend. Inhale to straighten your left leg. Exhale, press forward and find your way down towards the mat or your ankle or your shin. And now breathe into right side. Let's take that breath in and then exhale. Take the right hand down towards the mat. We'll turn to the ball of the back foot. Last time in our high plank position. Again, taking one more moment to press into the mat. Really engage your core, lengthening through the crown of your head. Take that deep breath in. And for those of you that need more, super slow lower down towards the mat. As slow as you can on your knees or toes. Challenge those upper body muscles, especially the triceps. And when we get there, last time here in extension, pressing up to the forearms. If we got the straight arms, we can go to that. Maybe gazing the head up. And then on your exhale, release it all the way down. All right, let's find our way onto hands and knees. And tops of the feet can be on the mat, or you can tuck your toes under, whatever feels best for you here. We'll inhale, right arm up. Breathe into your right shoulder, breathe into your right side. And now let's find our way into a shoulder stretch, taking that right arm all the way underneath. Once you get there, let the weight of your body rest into your right shoulder. And now your left arm can stay where it is, or it can wrap behind your back. Just finding a little stretch in that upper body. All right, let's try the other side. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, release. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, slide the left arm underneath, resting your shoulder onto the mat. Letting the weight of your upper body rest into your shoulder. And if you can, wrapping that right arm behind you. All right, let's take the right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, release. All right, guys, let's take it to a seated position. Take your legs out long in front of you. And then come all the way down to your back. One vertebrae at a time if possible. Now when we get there, we're gonna bring our feet flat onto the mat. And now take your right leg tightly over your left. Depending on your hip mobility, you can either grab the right knee and the right ankle and pull in. But if you have the ability to, you can reach through, grab both ankles or feet or shins, and pull your legs in this way. Just check in with your upper body though. It's really easy to not even know that your head's up. So go ahead and let your head rest down to the mat. Now we're gonna keep the cross of the legs. Take your arms long along your side like a capital T and tip your knees to the left. As you do this, we're trying to anchor down with our right shoulder. And you can either keep the palm of your right hand down towards the floor or try turning palm up. And that can sometimes get into your chest a little bit more. Just checking in again with that breath, making sure we're not holding the breath. We'll come back to the center, uncross right, and now let's try the left side. Left leg crosses over right, grabbing the shins, ankles, or feet, and pulling in. And remembering that option of just drawing the left leg in. And then releasing the feet, arms go long. Tip your legs to the right. Anchoring down with your left shoulder. Let's come back to the center. Uncross the legs. Lengthen your legs long along the mat, floating your arms up over your chest. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, roll yourself up if you can, one vertebrae at a time, giving yourself a nice forward fold. Wherever your hands rest is where they rest. We'll sit up nice and tall. And then just finishing our practice today in a cross-legged seated position. Your right hand can rest down towards the mat. And then with your left hand, grab the top of your head. Gently pull your head away from your right shoulder. And we're doing more pressing into the mat than pulling, finding a nice neck stretch here. Remember, less is more. So once you find it, you're good. Take a couple breaths here. We'll find our way back up, and let's try the other side. Once you find that stretch, focus on some full exhales. And then we'll find our way back up. Hands can rest right along either side of you. Take a deep breath in, sit up nice and tall, and a full exhale out. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Taking your hands together right in front of your heart. 1 more breath in, sitting up as tall as you can. And the biggest exhale you can, bowing forward. Namaste.